the thing about touring with Paul is he always took his family with him. His daughter Mary McCartney was about 22 at the time, and Stella, who's famous now as a fashion designer, Stella McCartney, she was like 20. And then he had a son James who also toured with him. So I got to know them a little bit there because I was on tour for 3 months with Paul. 7 years later, I'm walking in Central Park and I see Mary McCartney, and I didn't think she'd remember me, and she had a baby in her arms. And I went up to her and said, hey, you remember me? My name's Michael. I was on the tour way back 7 years ago there. We had a few conversations. Oh, yeah, I remember you. What are you doing now? And we had been doing she's a strict vegetarian, as all of the McCartneys are. Not vegan, but vegetarian. And I said, what am I doing? I'm working on a documentary about Janis Joplin. Now, Mary's mother, Linda McCartney, was a very well-known photographer before she married Paul and after as well. But before she met Paul, she photographed Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, the Grateful Dead, all these different great luminaries, the Rolling Stones and stuff. And I said, yeah, I'm doing a documentary about Janis Joplin. She said, my mom photographed Janis. I can talk to her and see if she has any pictures that she can lend to you for your documentary. I said, oh, that's great. She says, do you have a business card or anything? So I take out my wallet, and then she looks at me like, gives me a dirty look, because my wallet was leather. And suddenly she recoiled, and I was like, what? I was about to take my business card out of a leather wallet, and I tried to hand it to her, but clearly she didn't even want to touch it because it had been in contact with leather. Well, okay, back to Sting. So anyway, I toured with Sting for a whole big time there. And then I got back to New York. That's where we both are, folks. And I couldn't get any work for some reason. I had been out of the United States for so long that everyone forgot about me. So months go by and I'm not getting any work. So finally I said, maybe I can get unemployment, So you had to go to the office back then, now it's so easy. You press a few buttons on the internet. So I go to the office. He says, well, where did you work? Who did you work for in the past year? I said, Sting. He said, you mean Sting, the rock star? I said, yeah, I worked for him. He said, all right. He wrote that down and a few other things. And so then he took all my paperwork. 2 or 3 months later, I get a phone call, and it's Sting's accountant. He said, is this Michael? I said, yeah. Oh, this is Sting's management here. Did you file unemployment against Sting? He said, well, yeah, the guy kind of told me to, He said, you can't do that. So anyway, I never worked for Sting again after that.
Why could you not do
that? Maybe he's just too glamorous. I don't know. I'm not really sure why, but anyway, I never got it.